Hey guys, I'm gonna try this again. This is the third time I'm trying to record this tonight. Last time I did it, my camera just all of a sudden decided that it was gonna stop, and then when it unfroze itself, the screen was just pink. Like it wouldn't let me turn the camera around to see myself, it just showed up pink. So we're gonna try again. And nothing recorded, so we're starting over. So, life update first. Gonna be an aunt. My brother that got married this past May, him and his wife are expecting, due sometime early spring or next summer, so that's exciting. Been hunting a lot this so far, October. Jonah has been. I went down twice. Twice? Once or twice, I don't know. Went down for his mom's birthday, I know, at the beginning of October. I think that's the only time, because then Jonah went with his cousin, and then he went with my dad, and I was there again. So I'm gonna go down on Saturday and go say hi. He left yesterday morning, or yesterday afternoon, and he'll be there till Sunday. So today is Wednesday, October 26th. It's been a long time since I've recorded a video. I've been busy. Life is insane. School, work. It's my life. Tomorrow night I'm having a girls' night. A couple of my friends are coming over. We're just gonna carve pumpkins, hang out, drink some alcohol, and watch movies, and just hang out and have a good old time. Sorry, I'm gonna fix you guys. And just have a good old time together. Helps me from being alone in a house. I don't like being alone at the house. It's just creepy. It's different like if there's like a dog here or something, but when you're alone and there's no one else in the house, I feel weird. So they're gonna be here tomorrow night, which is exciting. Again, I've done this 3 times, so I have no idea what else I said, and I'll remember later on, but we're gonna just move on. So since last time I saw you guys, I have 2 FFOs and 3 other finishes. So the first FFO is this guy. You've seen him, you know him. He is the Scottish Santa from Mill Hill, whose mustache does not want to stay down. I might have to iron that down. I'm too scared to iron him down. Anyway, so he's all finished. Just backed him with black felt, glued him on there, and this is just some red floss that I had some extra of. So he's all finished and done. I'll just get a silver Sharpie and write the year on the back. So he's all ready for my tree. It's super cute. And the light's coming from up in front of me, so that's why the lighting's a little weird. Oh, it's so good. Alright. The next one I have to show you. Sorry, my friend's sending a picture of his truck's tires, and I don't know why. Next one is a start, a finish, and an FFO since I last saw you. So this is a thistle. I got the pattern online somewhere. I'm trying to figure out where it was, if it was actually supposed to be a free chart, or if it wasn't. And if it wasn't, I'm going to purchase it. But if it was a free chart, then it's a free chart. So it's a little purple thistle from Scotland. It's stitched on the same as my Gingham Dog Calico Cat, so 40 count Winter Moon. This is stitched 2/2. Yeah, 2/2. And then I just used a free alphabet to write Scotland 2001. So if you've watched my videos before, I've mentioned that I lived in Scotland for a short time back in 2015. The main reason that I went over and did it was my aunt went to the same school that I did, and she went to Scotland back in 2001. And then she proceeded to go on and move and live in Italy for 4 more years. So she was the main reason that I went to Scotland, and I went and lived over there. So she was there in 2001, I was there in 2015. I saw the pattern, I wanted to do it for myself, and then I remembered that she was the reason I went. So I made one for her first, put Scotland 2001 on it, put it in this little frame, and I'll make another one for myself. So this little frame actually had a mirror in it, and that's what it's backed on. So instead of putting it on foam core, sorry, I've lost too itchy nose. Oh, I hate that. Anyway, so it is, sorry, I'm trying to remember to block the, oh my gosh. That is the worst. It's the worst. I'm so itchy right now. Okay, so the mirror that was in here, I just popped it out and I actually just put this on top of it. So it's adhesive fabric double-sided tape thingy to the mirror, and then I just put it back in there. And which corner? This corner, you can see there's duct tape. So I duct taped it in to hold it in, and then I just put green felt over the back of it to cover up the ghetto-ass framing, as McKenna would say. So that's all done and finished. My mom had a bunch of these little frames in her hallway going up to the second floor, and has since redone her house, or redone that hallway. So she gave me a bunch of the smaller frames, so I have a bunch of them upstairs that I can put some small finishes in. So, other 3 finishes. Hold on. Oh god, that's good. Okay. The next one is my Instagram secret project. My sister follows my Instagram, so she can't see this. So I don't put it on there. So I think I've only done it on YouTube. I don't think I've shown it on Facebook. Either way, this is Country Cottage Needlework's Afternoon in Paris. That's what it was supposed to look like. It does call for 3 specialty flosses, and I did it all in DMC and changed colors. So, and this is stitched on 28 count Jobelin in Summer Sky. And this is what it looks like. So, like I said, changed lots of colors. So, first, the clouds are outlined in a dark gray so that they stand out on the fabric, otherwise they blended in. Same thing with the lamps, anything that was white that was touching it. So, the window frames, the curtain, the teacups, all kind of stuff. So, if you can see, I backstitched around and outlined all of that. The Eiffel Tower was called for in this same brown as the DMC conversion, but I didn't like that, so I converted it to black and gray. And same thing with the light post and the tires. They were all called for in this DMC conversion brown, and instead I did it all in black. And then the DMZ conversion for this blue, and I didn't write down what I changed them to, so I can guess, but I'm not 100% sure. So this blue, the DMC conversion was almost green, So these little blue flowers down here, they were actually little green flowers, and I didn't like that. So I changed it and picked a blue to do instead. So changed all of that to blue. Otherwise, that's it. It's all done and finished. It's initialed. We have the trim that Jonah and I purchased trim to make the frame out of. So we just have to put that together. It'll be her Christmas present once it gets framed. So, throw this away. The other one, you guys have seen, you guys know, hopefully you love it as much as I do, is the Gingham Dog and the Calico Cat by Carriage House Samplings. I believe this is an out-of-print chart now, so this is what it's charted to look like, and it is not what mine looks like. So, let's see, do I need... No, I should probably put something behind it. So, let me pull out the colors so I can tell you as I go through it. Pull these out as best I can and try and remember where... There's 2 colors that I get confused. I don't remember which one's which. So, this is what it looks like now. Or what the finished product looked like after I changed everything. So, when I went down, I've explained this before in a couple videos, but I'll do it again. When I went down to pick out the colors for this project, I added one too many stitches. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. We're good. This corner is different than the rest of the corners, but whatever. When I went down to Stitchville, USA, down in Minnetonka, Minnesota, I didn't have the pattern with me. I didn't have the floss list with me. I just had a picture of the pattern, and I knew that I wanted to change, just spin it around, this piece, these two pieces, I was going to change them and put in the mantle clock and the china plate, which are in the story. So it's a poem that was made into a children's storybook. Anyway, so I just changed it. I knew I wanted to have the red in there still. I wanted to keep the greens. I obviously needed to pull in a brown, and I needed a blue because the china plate was going to be blue and the Calico Cat actually is blue. So when I changed everything, so I went down there and I just picked. So we kind of went through fabrics, picked a couple fabrics, and then picked some colors. So the red in here is Turkish red, and I don't know if you can see the variegation. You kind of can, like right here. So it's Turkish red. You can't see it in there either, but it's beautiful. Turkish red is by far one of my favorite reds right now. So that was Turkish red. The dark green outline of the leaves is Green Pasture, Gentle Arts Green Pasture. The light one, so this, like this one, I believe the interface, so some of the tops of the acorns, or whatever they are, radishes, acorns, are in Gentle Art Roche's Marshmallow, and the other ones and the two birds are in DMC, or not DMC, Weeks Dye Works Sand. The blue is Gentle Art Blue Jay. The words is in Weeks Dye Works Charcoal. The light blue fill-in of the leaves is in Gentle Art Sea Spray. And then the brown tree, table, and mantle clock are all in Weeks Dye Works Swiss Chocolate. So she is done and all ready to be framed. We also bought the trim to do that one, and once that's finished I will show you guys that. So I'm just going to slide this back in its little case for now until I decide what to do with it. And actually after this I'm going to talk about the patterns in a second here. So the next one that I did is a new start and a new finish since the last time I saw you guys. So it's the Prairie Schooler 1990 Santa, the one with the raccoon and the squirrel and the birds. I got these off of 123 Stitch. I got them off of, I believe it was Stash Unload. I could be wrong. But there he is. There's my Santa. It took me about a week to finish. I started it on one Sunday and finished it the next Sunday. The only thing is this whole side is down one stitch too far, but in the grand scheme of things, there we go, you can't really tell. So I just added an extra line to his boots so that they come down a little bit farther. One boot does look bigger than the other boot, but we're just going to go with it. Otherwise, that's him. I did change some colors. So the red, I didn't like the red that they had picked, so I picked DMC 304. It's a lot richer of a red. The face, so his skin and his pink rosy cheeks, I changed to do the same that called for on here. So I picked the two colors that his face is, so the flesh of his face and then his rosy cheeks. So those are DMC 760 for the cheeks and 758 for his skin. I kept the gold the same, which is the basket. That looks exactly the way it's charted. The green I changed to 319. I wanted a richer green. So the green in that is the same. Brown is the same, so the raccoon and all the acorns are the color that they're called for. The gray, I didn't have 645, so I did 646 for the squirrel. The cream is the same. The cream and the white of the birds is the same. And then the dark gray of like his face and the rabbit and the dark gray of the birds is different. I chose 413 instead of 844. So otherwise he's kind of sort of, he's exactly as charted except for the colors. So most of the colors. So he is all done too. He took me about a week. So speaking of finishes and patterns, I'm having a dilemma, an internal dilemma of what to do with my patterns when I'm done. So if you've watched Nana's Needles, Andy, she gives away her patterns when she's finished with them. And then if you watch Priscilla and Chelsea, they've said that they keep all their patterns wanting to, if you want the pattern, buy it from a store that gives credit and gives money to the designer. And I like both of them. Andy does hers because she wants to share the patterns that she's loved. And Priscilla and Chelsea keep theirs because they want money to go to the designers. So I'm at a loss of what I want to do. If I want to sell them, if I want to give them away, if I want to keep them and never give them away and just hold on to them forever. I know I'll never restitch like Afternoon in Paris or the Gingham Dog and the Calico Cat or the Santa. I'll never restitch them. So I don't know. I'm at a loss. You guys can give me your opinions. What do you think? Give away, keep, sell? What do you guys do? What do you guys think? That's where I'm at right now. I just don't know what I want to do yet. So we'll see what happens. Let's go to new starts, which will lead me into whips. Yeah. Okay. Bear with me for a second here. Bear with me. I will show you. I got this. It's they're the, you can't even see on there. It's got the little dots, so it's a bullet journal. And I'm going to use this for tracking all of my stitching stuff. So tracking patterns, when I start, when I finish, any floss changes. So it'll be name of the pattern, name of the designer, when I started, when I finished, name of the floss, name of the fabric, if it was a gift, things like that. I'm just going to I want to keep track of it, all of that. I kind of have it going in a spreadsheet right now, but I like having paper copies of things. I like holding it in my hands. So I think we're going to do it that way. So I'm kind of going to start in one spot and go to another. Just give me 1 second. I'm trying to find a piece of fabric. Okay, there it is. And I want to make sure I talk about that because I don't have it written down anymore, or I don't have it in my whip pile anymore. I have 2 patterns that I have UFO'd, and a couple new patterns, things that I bought. So we'll let's see, how do we want to start this? We'll do new starts first, so I can do this one first. So let me find the chart really quick so I can show you that. It's one of my new starts that has become a UFO, and then this other one will be a UFO. So I'll show you the UFO that I've shown you guys before. So sadly, I am giving up on this piece because there are too many errors. So this is by Cooler Designs. This is Farmer's Market. So that's what it was supposed to look like. It was a kit, so it came with all the floss, it came with the fabric, and there are just too many errors in here, I think. Right now it's a UFO. It'll go in my UFO pile, which is now 1. There's only 1. I mean, the other one's kind of a UFO, but it's also just going to be a restart. So there's too many errors. As I go through it, I'm realizing there's too many errors. So I might, maybe someday I'll finish it and I will just fudge it all day long and get it to work, but as of right now, I'm getting sick of fudging it. So right now, it's just going to go in a pile that I'm not going to touch until maybe someday I go, hey, I want to actually try and finish that. So otherwise, for now, it's a UFO. The other one that was a new start, and now I'm going to have to restart, was the Cricket Collection October, Cross-Eyed Cricket, number 331. That's what it was going to look like. And let me see if you guys can see my error before. I started this on a piece of fabric from Jew Design, which is over in Hungary. So, O, C, T, O. I don't have room for B-E-R. So, Jonah brought up a good point. I could take this O out. Hold on. Like this. Take this O out and move it down here and kind of do it in a pyramid. So it would be O-C-T-O-B-E-R. So it's like a pyramid. So 4 and then 3 letters. And that might work. But for right now, it's staying like this. I gave up because I realized that I'm ridiculously dumb and I didn't count properly. So when I started counting it, when I did count it and I did my calculations, it was supposed to fit. But now, looking at the pattern, and obviously I got to the center of the pattern and I'm not at the center of my fabric. So that was a new start on October 1st, and now it is in the please unpick me so you can reuse the fabric stage. So that pattern is just going to go back in my patterns to do something with, to stitch. So those are my my one UFO, my one unpick and restart. Another one I started was this one. I actually think this was a new purchase too. Is from Little House Needleworks. It's called the Bookshelf. So it's in honor of 18th and 19th century authors. So I got up to there. I started doing this one color. That's all the lettering and stuff like that. I started with that, got all the way up to Bronte, and stopped, and now I'm kind of filling in colors as I go. So I got through and finished up a bunch of colors. This is also on a piece of fabric from Jew Design, one of the ones that she didn't have the recipe for, so she couldn't recreate it. That's in one of my little, I got these at the dollar store. They're actually really nice. So I'm working through that one. There's just a couple DMC colors that I'm missing, so I have to go buy those or figure out where they are in the rest of these pieces. So let's see, did that. Bookshelf, okay. Another new start. I think I started this last weekend when Jonah was gone. Last weekend or 2 weeks ago. Oh shoot. I don't have the other. Oh wait, yes I do. Hold on, let me find the magazine for it so I can show you guys without showing you guys. It's from issue of Cross Stitch and Country Craft from January, February 1993, I believe. Yep. It's this pattern. It's called Western Barn. I figured Jonah would like this one, so and I started it on a scrap piece of the 40 count Winter Moon, Winter Moon. I don't know what it's called. So that's where we're at right now. It's just going to be really teeny tiny. I mean, this is maybe a 5x5 square. So we've got quite a bit of work on there done. I think I'm just going to do pretty much all the rest of it is backstitch that I have left for the most part, besides the trees. Everything else on it is Backstitch. So, hold on, let me close this up so I don't lose anything out of it. So I started that one. Look shy, but I'm not shy. This one I bought a little while ago and finally started a little bit. I wanted to start the full coverage, so this is Rainy Kiss by Paul's Patterns. Original artwork is by Leonid Efremov? I have no idea. And that is my small humble start. That's it. I didn't grid it. I'm going to go color by color because I don't have all of the colors. It's also charted in Anchor, so I have in pencil written next to all of them the conversion, and I don't have all of them out. They might be up in other projects. So I've just chosen three colors to start with, 2 greens and a blue, because that's a lot of what's in this corner right here. So I've just started with those 3 colors, and I'm going to go through. And right now this is almost the end of page 1. There's just like another row of 10, so that's about page 1. Yeah, it's about page 1. That's how wide it is. So, and that's on a piece of, is that 22 count? I don't know, it's a piece of white data. I don't remember what count it is. This was one of my new purchases that I have some more to show you guys in a little bit, but we're not there yet, so I'll just show you it anyway because it was a new start. Pull this. Stitching this at my mom's house last night. So this is from Designs by Lisa. It's called One Nut Shy. It's a little squirrel with a bunch of acorns around him. It's called for 28 count light gray Jobelin, and I just started the word, so just 1 T shy of. So, and I'm doing it all in DMC because I'm cheap, and I'm also looking at it. The only spot that you could really see anything is the gray, like the big gray of the squirrel, and once I get there, maybe I'll choose to do an actual color, but as of right now, it's going to be stitched in just DMC, so I've got all the DMC in there. And that was 28 count, and that's stitched 2/2. So that's all my new starts, so I'm going to show you guys my whips. Don't know if I've worked on this since I last showed you guys. Oh, uh-oh. Well, it's actually garbage anyway. This is the Dimensions Treasured Wedding Record for my brother and future sister-in-law when they get married in December, but I'm deciding if I'm going to give it to them or not because I don't know if they're going to appreciate it. I mean, I know they'll like it, but I don't know. It's hard to give somebody something you've spent hours and hours on if you don't think they're actually going to appreciate it. So I've got the center done. I just have to do names because I'm finding out for sure that she's changing her last name. I believe she is because I was talking to my brother the other day, and she likes his last name because she's going to be a doctor, and so she likes the way that last name sounds rather than the one my brother was going to change their last name to. He was going to change it to my mom's maiden name instead of what his name is now, and I don't want to give away too much, so I'm not going to say last names. But anyway, so that's where it's at. I've got the centerpiece done except for the names and the date because I don't know exactly what date they're getting married on yet either. And then I started the brown going around, and then I just have to backstitch around the brown. And that's a kit, so it has all the floss to go with it, and all that's left on that one is to stitch brown, so that'll be fun. I'm just going in whatever order they're in this thing in. So I can finally show you what the whole piece actually looks like on this one. This is the Doctor Who piece. It goes like that. So it's all the quote in the shape of a TARDIS. So it reads, "He's like fire and ice and rage. He's like the night and the storm in the heart of the sun. He's ancient and forever. He burns at the center of time, and he can see the turn of the universe, and he's wonderful." So that's what it'll read, and I finally cut my fabric. So it'll be probably about this tall. So I just took a piece of blue thread, and going up the right side of this, I went up and did the very right edge of this whole thing. So this is the very right edge beyond that piece. So, and then I'm up here to the top of the TARDIS, and it'll go up from there to the top. So that's how wide it'll be, that's how tall it'll be. It does look a little like scattered, and it like comes in a little bit, but that is, I believe, how it ends up looking. We'll find out if I counted and stitched that right, but whatever. I haven't gotten around to that. I just wanted to cut the fabric, so I was sick of having the whole giant piece in there. So that's that one. I'll show you. Don't think I've stitched on this in forever, but this is the Sela Leap of Faith on fabric 28 count even weave. I still don't think I've touched it since the last time I showed you guys. There's just so many fractionals in it, and I hate fractionals. So that's a kit too. Came with the fabric and the floss, which is actually just 2 DMC colors, so it should be fairly easy, but I just hate fractionals. Hate fractionals, which is actually why I quit working on one of mine the other day. I was working on it and I was like, I hate fractionals. Especially on Ada, and I'll show you that one in a second because I remember which one it was. This is my Prairie Moon Martini Witches. I'm actually, if you guys want to give me your opinion, that would be awesome. There's a picture of this on Instagram that has better color quality, because I don't know if you're going to be able to see the color in this. This is on 32 count Belfast in Vintage Sand. So I started putting in green. And actually on camera, granted that's not none of that color is accurate. So I started putting in her face. Let's see if I get closer. Yeah, okay. So, let me go like this. Alright, get it closer. So, it's not really great. There's a better picture of it on my Instagram. So, this floss is a gift floss from Jew Design. And there's nothing wrong with the floss. I'm just going to go right there. Nothing wrong with the floss. I just think it might not work. So, in real life, looking at it, holding it separate from everything, it looks like a yellowy green. But then I put it on this fabric, which again, I don't think you can see, it turns bluey green. So when you do it in the 2 strands, again, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this properly, it's like a bluey green, not a yellowy green. So I have had one person tell me that it looks okay. So I'm gonna like set it aside for a little while and see if I end up do decide that I end up liking it. Otherwise, it might just end up it might end up being picked out, and I'll use the gift floss somewhere else, and I'll pick a different green to go in there, just because it's not looking right. It's looking too bluey to me. Next one is Fair on Traditions, Needles and Pins. This is a sale with Lori, Mischievous Stitches, and Emily C. of Eclectic Possessions. So that's what it'll look like. I'm doing it on 36 count Legacy and Berlin. And that's one thing. It's a personal, it's not a pet peeve, because it's not really a pet peeve. It's just something that I notice, how people pronounce Edinburgh. So, in America, when you pronounce this, it looks like Edinburgh. Edinburgh. I mean, it's Edinburgh in America. That's what we call it. But It's actually pronounced Edinburgh. So it's just something I notice now when people say, especially on Flosstube, because, you know, people are talking about Edinburgh linen, and they call it Edinburgh linen. It's like, that's Edinburgh. Anyway, so this is where I'm at. I've got all the way down the left side of the fabric now. The only issue is I stopped because, if you notice, this side of the border is where it's supposed to be connected to this, but it's in one too many stitches. So I either have to figure out where my error is over here, figure out where my error is here, or figure out a way to fudge that corner. So I stopped because I got frustrated because I'm off. That's like I'm so bad at counting sometimes, guys. So bad at counting. But usually I'm okay to fudge it, but a straight line like that is really hard to fudge. So I think I'm going to end up having to unpick that top piece and shift it over one so it's back in form. Next one is my big toe. This too shall pass. And actually, there you go. It's not too shiny through there. This is on a piece of that same cream Aida from that Doctor Who stitched on. And I think the last time you guys saw it, this is the only thing I've added. I've added this little piece right here, this little strip. So it's coming along. It's coming along. Slowly but surely. This one I haven't stitched on in forever. I was gonna give this to my dad for Christmas, but that's not happening. And now I don't want to stitch the other one because of all the color in it. So I'm stitching this one. It's from the Steel Company, or the Steel Family Authentic Decoys. So this is the one I'm stitching. Do you see all that yellow? Do you see all that yellow? Should have picked a yellow fabric. So this is where we're at. I just have this little piece of blue to go down the side, and then all of this is yellow. So, getting sick of stitching yellow. So, this has kind of been sitting on the sidelines for a while, because I really, really don't want to stitch all that yellow. I don't know what we'll do. We'll figure it out. This one, fractionals. Let's just talk about fractionals for a second here. You know, not that many fractionals, I can handle it. Fractionals on Aida, especially a small count of Aida, like 14 count. So, this is my Sela Bluebird. It's pretty. I guess you can't even tell in the picture here though that there's fractionals. Can't even tell. So I got all the light blue in the middle done, and I started doing the dark blue, and I realized that I'm missing fractionals. So I kind of started doing half stitches here, and I'm going to go up the side and come back down. But I don't want to do fractionals on 14 count Aida. No. I hate fractionals, let alone through Aida. So I kind of quit working on that one too. We'll see what happens. Do I need to get a pumpkin for you, or do you have one? Sorry, the girls are coming over tomorrow and we're carving pumpkins, so she's just finding out if I need a pumpkin or not. I bet you they're out shopping for them right now. So yeah, I don't want to stitch fractionals through 14 count Aida. That's just not, no. No. That was a weird no. I don't want to do it. I don't like fractionals to begin with, but through Aida is just awful. I mean, having to poke through the middle of a square like that. Especially with how stiff it gets, it's really hard to push through, and it makes your stitches just look weird, so. I worked on Hogwarts a little bit. After I finished Coral's Paris piece, I figured I should pull this guy out for a little while. So, this is Hogwarts Crest by like Colleen Carrington. It's free online. If you just Google Hogwarts Crest cross stitch, it'll come up. So, this whole page, so there's 4 pages, 1, 2, 3, 4, one for each one. So from this line over and this line down, this page is completely finished. Cross stitch and backstitch. This page, I just need to finish this piece and then the backstitch. The Slytherin one, I just need this top piece, and I just started working on the Gryffindor one and working up from there. So it's coming along. So I'm probably about 2/3 done with this. I'm just gotta work, actually get the gumption to work on it again. I just haven't been wanting to. I've kind of lost my stitchy bug. I haven't really been wanting to work on anything. Sorry, I'm gonna kind of stick some of these pieces away while I'm talking to you. So yeah, I just kind of have lost my stitchy bug a little bit. Haven't really been wanting to do anything, hence the reason I started 2 projects this week. I actually started both of these projects, both of these 2, yesterday, because I just was like, I need to get my stitchy bug back, so I thought starting a new project would help, and it did a little bit, but at the same time, I'm still at a spot where I'm like, I don't really want to do anything. I don't want to do anything crafty, really, but my next piece, don't know what I'm ever going to do with this because the fabric is cut too short, but this is my colorful city. Well, it's Cat City, but it's 2 pages. So this is the first full page. I'm just missing the stitching here, and a little bit here. And then the 3rd page probably, or the 2nd page probably goes to about here. And so I have all of this to do. So I just started going color by color on that page so far. Started working on that a little bit again. I do love it. It's really pretty, but as you can see, the fabric's cut super short. I don't know how I'm ever going to finish that. I don't know if you even could. It's just so short. I don't know if I'll ever be able to, but it's in my whip pile. If it ever gets done, it does. If it doesn't, oh well. Do this for fun, not necessarily to finish it. So, oh my goodness. Okay. So that's all my whips. Let me show you some purchases. That goes with that. I'm sorry, I don't have them in order anymore. I moved everything around when I was reorganizing. I have a little basket now that holds all of my pieces. I didn't order. I don't think I showed you guys all of those, so I'll show you those. I think I showed you that. Oh my goodness. I realized how many flippin' patterns I had. Alright, I think that's all of them. Alright. So, I bought a little bit of fabric. I think I've shown you guys these, but I'll show you again. So, I bought those Santas on the Santa online, and I bought it in a set of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So there's 14 Santas and 5 pieces of Khaki DeVoe. Is that what it's called? Yeah. So I've got a bunch of Santas. So 1989 Santa, which I really like. 1991 Santa. This is the 1984 Santa. This is 1985. He's a little fat. 1986. 1987. 1988. 1993, 1994. I have two 1995 Santas, and this is one of the reasons I brought up the deciding to sell, give, or keep, because I have two of them. So 1997 and 2003. So I have 4 more pieces of fabric, so I could do I'd do 4 more on these pieces of fabric before I'd have to buy new fabric. That was actually a really good deal when I got those. So let's stick all that back over here. So I've seen that Lindy Stitches, Stephanie, or Steph, and Blitzstitch, Brian, are doing the End of Forest Grew from Rosewood Banner. And I love it. It's beautiful, but I'm too scared to start something that big. So I decided to go a little smaller. Granted, not much smaller. This is an 18 by 27 piece of antique white Belfast, 32 count, and this is for Music Amongst the Trees by Rosewood Manor. And it reads, "There's always music amongst the trees in the garden, but our hearts must be very quiet to hear it." So it's all stitched in DMC, which is really nice. It'll be pretty cheap to do. It's actually really cool. On the back of theirs, they have lists of all their not all of them, but a lot of their patterns. So it's pretty. I love the trees that Rosewood Manor does on their patterns, and I wanted to start with something a little bit smaller before I tried to do End of Forest Grew. So that's that one. I grabbed this one because my boyfriend's name is Jonah, and I thought it would be pretty cool to do. It's from Tempting Tangles. It's called Jonahs Whale. There we go. And it's all stitched in Dinky Dyes silk. So I will eventually get the money to stitch that. And it's going to be actually really small. It'll be about an 8 by 8. This is a piece of 28 count time. And it's actually a lot more, it's a little bit darker of a gray than that with a little bit of green modeling in it. So you can kind of see it, but it's a little bit darker than what you see on camera. So, and that's the called for fabric. And again, like I said, that's all with Dinky Dyes, so I also never stitched in silk before, so that's a little scary. So eventually I'll do that one. This is Designs by Lisa. It's called Woodland Wonders. This one I will have to get the variegated thread for because of how big some of the chunks are. Like the foxes, you can see the variegation. The deer, you can definitely see the variegation. The 2 hedgehogs. I will probably not get it for the little teeny tiny yellow butterflies and the green grass. But beyond that, probably the most of it will be in the sampler threads that it calls for. And this is on a piece of the called for fabric, so a 28 count Cafe Mocha Country French linen. It's really thin, but I think it'll be pretty. So there's that one, but I'll have to get the specialty floss for that and Jonahs Whale, so I can't start those yet. This is from Stoney Creek. It's the Gadsden flag, the snake that says "Don't tread on me." This is will be for Jonah once I get around to it. I thought I had a piece of fabric for it. I have a piece of yellow Aida that I would probably stitch it on, but it's more of like a pastel yellow rather than a bright yellow, which is what I would need. So I might try and get some Rit dye and re-dye it, or it will just end up going on that pastel, or I'll find another piece of fabric. This is Frosty Forest, part of the Frosty Forest collection from Country Cottage Needleworks. Sorry, I talked too fast. And this one is Snowy Friends. So it's got a little squirrel and rabbit on it. That's all in DMC except for the green of the trees, which is in Poblano Pepper. And this is the called for fabric, the 32 count pearl gray Belfast linen. And that's actually fairly accurate. It's a little bit darker than that though. So that one's really pretty. I know some people are doing it all in on one piece, but I don't like houses, so I probably won't, just because I don't like the houses. Then I got a, oop, sorry, there's one more piece of fabric that I forgot after this one. So one of the fabrics I have is a 32 count piece of fabric is Haunted, 32 count Haunted Belfast linen. And I don't know why I bought it. I think I just bought it just because I could. I don't know. And then the last piece of fabric I have is a 32 count gingerbread. And I'm going to stitch this cover piece from February 2017. This Love is the Answer piece. I don't know what color I'll do it in. Probably not pink, because I hate that color. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. It's just not my, pink is not my thing. So I have lots of stuff I could start. A couple of them I can't, just because I don't have the specialty flosses for. And yeah, I want to start a lot of stuff, but it's gonna be difficult the next 2 months. So I don't graduate until December, and I'm on a temporary contract up at Maurice's, or up at Ascena, which owns Maurice's, Dress Barn, Lane Bryant, and Taylor, Justice, a lot of women's stores and girls stores. And my contract is up at the end of the month, so next Tuesday, this coming Tuesday on the 31st. And due to budget cuts and stuff like that, they can't renew contracts. So I will be done on the 31st. I did have an interview this morning to work up at University of Minnesota Duluth, just over the hill from me, working for one of their research offices, doing accounting and office work and stuff like that. And so we're hoping for that one, but they need full-time, and I can't work full-time until I'm done with school, which is in December, which means I might not work for 2 months. So money's going to be tight the next 2 months, with me not working and all. So we're hoping that I can find somewhere to pick up at least part-time hours for the next couple months, for the next 2 months until I graduate, so I can at least come January at least be able to get a job somewhere. Whether or not I get this UMD job, I don't know, but I'd like to. It's going to be hard to find somebody who's going to be willing to let me work a job that I want, like somewhere working in accounting, working in an office and stuff like that, without having my degrees completely finished. So we'll see what happens with this UMD one, if they let me work part-time until I can work full-time, or if they just want me to start full-time after I'm done with school, and then I'll find somewhere to work part-time. So, but money's going to be tight for the next 2 months, so I'm going to try not to do a lot of spending. Really, really, really want to go down to the cities, though. I want to go down to Minnetonka and go to the stitching store. But I don't know. It's getting to a spot where I want to go, but I don't want to spend money, but I also just want to go. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens in the next couple months. I should be able to I'll find out if I get the UMD job probably next week sometime. So crossing your fingers on that one. I really like that job. So like I said, money's gonna be tight for the next 2 months until I get another job. So yeah, definitely I'm gonna be stitching a lot more if I'm not gonna be working for the next 2 months. So, but yeah, that's it. I'm gonna kind of clean up the little bit of a mess that I made here. It's 9:30 now. I've been talking for an hour. Probably gonna head off to bed here pretty quick. I gotta get up and work early tomorrow morning, and then I'll be deciding at noon when I get off of work if I'm going to drive down to the cities and go to the store, or if I'm going to be a good kid and not, and then my friends will be over tomorrow night, and we'll just kind of do some stuff tomorrow night. We'll see what happens. Hopefully I can get another video up here pretty quick, just because I feel bad that it's taking me so long just to get this video going. So I'm gonna save this, and tomorrow, after I'm done with work at noon, I'll probably upload this as quick as I can tomorrow, just because I don't have time to edit and upload tonight. I'm not in the mood for that right now. So yeah, I'm probably going to just clean this up and probably head off to bed because I'm exhausted. It's only 9:30 and I'm exhausted. So, okay, I'm just gonna stop rambling now and just go. So I'll talk to you guys next time. Hopefully I'll have some good news about a new job, and hopefully I'll have some more progress on some of my whips and stop starting things, because I did get down to 12 and now I think I'm back up to 14. Yeah, because taking out the UFO and finishing Santa, I got down to 12. And now I think I'm back up to 14 because I started 2 pieces yesterday. So, oh well. It is what it is. Makes me happy. It's fun. It's enjoyable. At least for the most part. I've been having a hard time lately, but I still do love what I do. So, yeah, I'm gonna go now. It's been 56 minutes, and I'm sure you guys are sick of me rambling, if you're even still here at all. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about the witch's face, about whether to sell, give away, or keep my patterns. Do you guys have any tips on getting your stitchy bug back? Because I've lost it. Kind of sucks. Yeah, I'm going to head out then. Hope everybody has a good time until I see you guys next time. Bye.